that people, at least to my perspective of what I see as good dance music or whatever, and I hope, I hope people will experience in the short time I have, like, some kind of moment. I don't know which kind of moment it is, but kind of moment. First of all, I can relate to the producers from the city, which are amazing guys like Radexis, Otarki, Naduve, guys that we all grew up together and pretty much build this kind of new wave scene of Tel Aviv, like the post, I don't know how you call it, like trance, and then like more like a indoor melodic kind of, I don't know how you call it, new disco or whatever scene that came, and we came with more like punk and rock, and I think the scene in Tel Aviv these days are amazing. It's like it's one of the best scenes. I mean, not that you can compare, but it's like as a scene by itself, it's an amazing scene, and every day there is a good party with a great DJ, and it's something that you really need to go and experience. I know I have a lot of fun going there because the quality of music and the standards of everything that's going on there, if it's food, clubs, sound, everything is very high. There's no, we don't leave too much room for errors, because it's a small place and you gotta deliver, all the time. You gotta deliver. If not, people are like, they're always looking for something else. It's not like it's, okay, let's see in a year what's gonna happen, And by that, I gotta say that I'm really happy that, Tel Aviv found its voice as first as a scene and also as producers and doing something else, and you can relate to a Tel Aviv sound now. Amazing clubs like the Block, which has probably one of the best sound systems across this world, which every DJ wants to go play there, me included. The Breakfast, the Bootleg, this is like the main clubs, and it's more a bar scene, which it's not like a pub, not like a British bar. It's like with a real dance floor and a real sound system, analog sound system, most of it, and there are DJs every day, so you can go out. You should go out also every day because it's pretty much this is what you do, all the time.
Disco Halal, tell us about the name.
Disco Halal, yeah, it started as a joke between me and myself. I mean, it happened in the toilet when I thought about it, and that's it. It just stuck, because I don't know, for some reason it's so simple. So there's so many. I mean, there's like, people trying to do like stuff that is similar. I don't know. I also have a lot of names like that's related to this kind of music and something which is, I don't know if it's religious, but just like kind of a way of life for certain people. And the label I started when I like 2+ years ago. I really enjoy to connect this kind of. First of all, it's the unique sound of it. It's because of the artists mostly that come from the area, and they create this kind of sound which is enrooted in their in their DNA even. And also it's a good way to, I don't know, try to bridge between certain societies and try to do something which is more, more than just releasing music for the sake of the artist and for the fans. It's something, try to make, from one end try to make like a family, and from the other end try to make like a community. It's like there is like two things that I try to combine between. Usually I go to the studio, and I have no agenda behind it. It's like I can start with a bass line and build from that. I can start with drums and build from that, or I can, on the other hand, I can just go and write a song on the guitar or keys, for example, and just like produce it afterwards. So there's no, I don't see it. I never think, I never try to think or overthink about what I'm doing, you know.
Do you find yourself making music like Manfredi on tour? Do you ever find yourself making music?
I do, but usually I really enjoy just sitting in the studio because I do it very fast there. So I do draw ideas on the road. Sometimes when I get like a moment on the plane that I'm like bored and it's like, what will I do? All right, let's do something like that. But I'm not like, I have no, I'm if regarding to Manfredi, I'm traveling way less, so I have more time to spend like in the studio. So I keep this like, you know, it's like a thing that I want to do. You know, I'm looking forward to go to the studio.
Not too long ago, you had your debut album released. How did you approach making the album in contrast to previous singles and EPs, and are you happy with the response?
I'll start with the end. I'm really happy with the response because I think it was accepted very well. I mean, for a debut album of a fairly unknown dude out of nowhere, I mean, Love Fingers, Andrew just accepted me to his house. You know, I even stayed with him when we chose the songs and everything. And the approach to the album was I think the concept behind the album is very simple. It's just making an album, meaning it should make sense from the first track till the end, that there is some story behind it. I didn't try to do a certain story that's trying to say, hey, this is the trip that you need to take with it. I tried to do something that people can interpret it themselves. It's a very, I'm a dance artist. I see myself as a like dance music artist, and the club, and you know, and I play music for clubs. And I feel like I feel like, you know, it was important to me to keep this club in. That was the main, like the most important thing for me. The most important things for me was to be, you know, still do club music and not do like 5 interludes with, you know, or whatever a lot of dance music albums are doing. It. Every track you can play in a club, but at the same time, every track you can listen at home. That's pretty much what I wanted to do.
3 records you would take to a desert island?
3 records. Now I need to choose again. So first of all, it's gonna be Billy Joel, to keep the mood up always, and keep on dreaming. His music is very, you know, I'm very, I really like the U.S. and New York and all this. Or he's very New York, New Jersey kind of based artist. So it's very, you know, dreaming about getting to that. The second would be an Israeli artist called Yudit Ravitz, with her first album, which is like a masterpiece that was written mostly by her and another Israeli artist called Mati Kaspi, which is like the, I don't know, it's like the Jovim of Israel. He wrote like 2,000 songs or something like that. And the third, I think in recent times I'm listening a lot to War on Drugs, their second album from 2008, which is, you know, it's so simple, but it's like the perfect, for me it's a perfect mix between like Bruce Springsteen and like, I don't know, like any kind of new rock music, you know, which is like, it's very, there is a drive, but there is a lot of say behind it. It's like maybe like even like the lyrics, like the drive of Springsteen and the lyrics like of Dylan, you know, this kind of vibe.
Being a producer, what are your thoughts on streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music?
I like using them. I think it's important for young, you know, young artists, and in general now it benefits a lot the big artists and the majors, because every click is money, and especially if you have a lot of music as a label or as whatever, you know, if you have a lot of music, it fits, you know, to do this kind of things. I don't really judge the way that people consume their music. You know, I like to do everything. I use Apple Music myself, or I download also from iTunes digital stuff, but I also buy records, whatever, tapes, whatever you want. So I think it's great that it's approachable. People can think that it also ruins it, because it's very easy and very cheap to get music now. But I rather have people listening to me on Apple Music than not even knowing anything, you know, at the same time. Like, because when I print 400 records, it's 400 people that will hear it, as opposed to Apple Music could be hundreds of millions. One superpower, I don't know, some way to clean Earth from shit, super breath, something like that.
Last meal?
Last meal, it's gonna be hummus. No, I mean, no, hummus went down. It's gonna be a fish sandwich from Istanbul, from a place called Emin Uste. If you ever find them in the market, in Karakoy market, fish market, if you ever find them, that's what I want. At this point, I got 6 more records coming out of the 12.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and that's it. Touring a lot, basically, mostly touring, and I got time written down to start the next album, which is going to be a band album, more band oriented. I want to do more live stuff. That's it, pretty much. I think it's a lot.
And then lastly, one word to describe Gottwood?
Paradise, but shitty weather.